Young Thug and Rich Homie Quan destroyed the glorious run of the Cash Money Empire, which they did in one of the most unexpected ways possible. Around the years of 2014 to 2015, Young Thug and Rich Homie Quan had the hip-hop scene on lock. And with both of these artists coming from Atlanta, they would soon quickly start to become a dynamic duo, dropping hit single after hit single. But unknowingly to them, all of it would soon come to an end, because suddenly everything would seem to go downhill for their relationship, while in the process also causing the Cash Money label to go into near bankruptcy. And with all of that, they didn't just destroy their friendship, but something else as well. So how did all of this even happen? Well, it all started when Young Thug had left Gucci Mane's 1017 label in 2013 after Gucci had went to prison in September. And with Young Thug being a fresh new artist, he needed a new label to go to help progress his career. Also, around this time, Birdman, the CEO of Cash Money Records, was also looking for new artists to add to his new side project, Rich Gang, since most of the artists that were signed to him all left or were about to leave. Fast forward around the beginning of 2014, Young Thug would drop his hit classic, Stoner, which became the song to blow up his career. So it gave Young Thug many options when choosing a new label since he was so hot at the time. Therefore, navigating the music industry was pretty easy, and because of this, he was met with multiple options, with one of those being an $8.5 million deal with Future's Freebounce label. But ultimately, in the end, he was caught in the sights of Birdman, and after Birdman had reached out to him, Thug would later end up signing to Rich Gang in February. This deal might have not had Thug's best interest at heart though, because Thug has publicly said that this was his worst deal ever. Granted, which makes sense because of Birdman's known reputation to not pay his artists. But since Birdman was such a big figure in the industry and could have made things happen with his connections, Thug felt that it was worth it. The two immediately started making music, and through this, they would create one of the greatest trap songs of all time, Lifestyle, in part to being known as the record to put Thug's name into the mainstream. Although everyone in the Rich Gang family knew the song was going to be a hit, Birdman still felt that it needed one more touch. And that touch would end up being one of the greatest decisions in Birdman's life. And that was to put Rich Homie Quan on the song as well. After Birdman had met Quan at his show in Miami, they would go to the studio. And here is where Birdman would play Lifestyle for Quan. After hearing this song, Quan would take a liking to it, and in only 20 minutes would write his verse for the song. Thug and Quan were actually making hits together way before Lifestyle, with one of those being Get the F Out My Face, which released 3 months before Lifestyle. So this wasn't their first rodeo, but it was their best one, because after its release, this song became massive, reaching 600 million views on YouTube, going platinum, and even reaching as far as 16 on the Billboard charts. After the release of Lifestyle, Thug and Quan would form the Rich Gang duo, and they immediately started dropping heat with their first mixtape, Rich Gang The Tour, which also became a classic immediately, with multiple hip-hop articles giving it high scores, in addition to Complex saying it was the best project of 2014, but more on that later. This album also had major influence in the industry, because its success became the reason for the emergence of collab tapes, by showing just how effective it can be when you put two artists with good chemistry on a project together. At this point, the two are on top of the hip-hop world, doing shows all over the country, recording documentaries, and living their wildest dreams. But despite all of this, there would be one looming problem that was about to turn everything they had into their worst nightmares. Remember when I said Thug and Quan had a mixtape called Rich Gang The Tour? Well, this mixtape was actually supposed to be the start to a promo cycle for their tour, which was supposed to start on November 1st. However, that tour never happened. And after this apparent failed rollout, rumors would begin to spread that the duo was having some animosity behind the scenes, due to the fact that they would rarely be seen together anymore. But all of it can be contributed to one interview. In February of 2015, Rich Homie Quan did an interview with Dirty Daily, and during an off-air break, Quan would tell one of the hosts that he stepped away from the Rich Gang a little bit just to get back to Quan, and people just wanted to hear from him.
Yeah, bro, I got too much music. I'm talking about good music that these people want to hear, man. But I have been focusing more on myself. I've stepped away from the Rich Gang a little bit just to get back to Quan. These people want Quan back, man.
Then in January of the next year, Thug would finally speak about his side of the conflict.
And about that time, it just felt like things start falling apart between you and Quan, and then Birdman and Wayne. And what was your take? What went wrong in your opinion with that whole movement?
With Bird and Wayne or me and Quan?
You and Quan.
Nothing. I just the fact that he said he wanted to chill for a minute and do his own music. Yeah, I did an interview and he was like, I wanna relax from Rich Gang and YSL. You know, I think the people want to hear me. So I was like, wow. So we just stopped working like that.
But it seems this was just the surface to their issues. Because before Thug's interview, there was a video where Rich Homie Quan was heard calling someone a bad word and referring to them as Thug. Thug would then respond to this video on Twitter, but that wouldn't be all, because later, Thug would respond back to Quan's comments at one of his shows.
Speaking of horses, you saw the fucking video, man. This stupid lame ass nigga trailing. That bitch on the Quan.
Now, you may be asking yourself the question, what does any of this have to do with Cash Money's follow? See, after Thug and Quan had left Rich Gang, this only shed a brighter light on Birdman's horrible management skills. Because believe it or not, Rich Gang was a thing way before Thug and Quan. The original Rich Gang consisted of artists like Bow Wow, Busta Rhymes, and Mythical, but all of them left due to Birdman's bad business. Despite this, Cash Money is still known as one of the most successful rap labels ever, selling over 130 million album sales and breeding artists like Lil Wayne, Drake, Nicki Minaj, and Tyga. And with all of these artists' music combined, the label managed to amass over $1.8 billion in revenue since 1998. But although on the surface it looked like the money was a testament to their success, that same money would be the exact thing that sent everything haywire. This is Money Fresh. Money was the lead producer for Cash Money in the early 2000s and was responsible for all of their commercial hits, like Ha and Back That Ass Up by Juvenile, The Block Is Hot by Lil Wayne, and hundreds of other songs. And you would think that with all this label success, Money would stay cemented with his label, but that wasn't the case. Because in 2005, Money would split from Cash Money for financial reasons, but it doesn't end there. Because there would be a song called What Happened to That Boy by Pusha T for Birdman's album, which was produced by a group called the Neptunes that consisted of Pharrell and Chad Hugo. The song became successful in its own right, but unfortunately, Birdman would make the same mistake once again by not paying Pharrell for the song, and because of this, Pharrell wouldn't work with Cash Money ever again. This non-payment actually became the reason for Pusha T starting the beef between him, Wayne, and Drake, which was on behalf of Pharrell for being wronged over the beat. At this point, Birdman's reputation in the music industry gave his label a bad name because he had now been known as the guy who never pays his team for their work. And because of this, many other producers would begin to back off from working with Cash Money. But once again, it doesn't stop there. One of Lil Wayne's biggest hits, A Milli, was produced by a man called Bangladesh, who could be named the reason for its success because of his catchy beat, helping the Carter 3 to reach 1 million sales in its first week. But unfortunately, the cycle would only continue, because although the song was a hit, Bangladesh says that he never got paid for his work, and that Cash Money still owes him $500,000. So at this point, no one was trying to work for Cash Money. The label was initially falling apart, but Thug and Quan came to revive it, only to leave just a year later. And after this, Rich Gang and Cash Money fell to the depths of the hip-hop trenches. Although Thug and Quan left Rich Gang, they still managed to have successful careers in their own right. And although they have never publicly squashed their beef, it seems that they have both put everything beside them, with Rich Homie Quan yelling "Free Thug" at one of his shows, and Thug himself saying he forgave him.
I forgive. I always forgive. If I kill a person, I pray to God that He forgive me. If I do something to a person, I pray I get forgiveness. So I always forgive. I don't ever hold grudges on nobody. I forgive everybody.
Although it seems this beef has been somewhat squashed, there is still one 20-year-long beef between Eminem and Mariah Carey that still remains, all because of one uninvited guest that decided to join the fun. Click here to see who that was.